Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. Today we're going to talk about Baddies East, the season review. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I can't do the week by week. So we're just going to talk about the girls collectively and talk about the situations that they were put in or are in or put themselves in. So we're going to start with the fallen soldiers of Baddies East, and that brings me to Saya. Now, Saya was that chill energy that we needed. Let's be honest. She was the first stud. She was handsome. She brought the jokes for her time being.
Who the fuck said the Hooters looking outfits sent me to Mars? I was out here.
I really appreciated her energy, but let's be honest. Somebody told her that she could perform, and that just wasn't the case on Baddies East.
I wonder if all the same girls gonna perform. Are they gonna perform every time we go somewhere? Maybe, probably. So I'm super excited to perform this fucking records weekend. I love performing. That shit is a natural thing for me. Hell yeah. It's been mad long since I performed on the East. I performed, but it's not back home on the East Coast. Yeah. I was watching the girls last night, so I'm like, I'm gonna get my lick off tonight.
Not only was it all she talked about, but she performed one time before she realized the East Coast was too much for her with the loss of her grandmother. And let's not act like the drama wasn't too much for her. I'm sure she's used to hanging out with men, and they don't talk about things that they were talking about. And I'm sure it made her uncomfortable, annoyed, and she was just ready to go, let's be honest. Next, we have of the fallen soldiers, Vicky. And Vicky calls herself turning over a new leaf.
I'm not a baddie, I'm a woman of God.
She considers herself a woman of Christ, and although a lot of people seem to have doubt this new way of life for her, I believe it because she's been acting like this for a while, and she's been in this industry for a while, and I'm sure she's seen some stuff that made her change her mind. Why she thought Baddies East was the place to spread awareness is beyond me, but we're gonna hop into her storyline. Now, Vicky was liking or retweeting tweets that Blueface was posting at the time, and I guess he was talking about him and Krishan's child. I don't know, it was their business, but Krishan, of course, seen it, and she wanted Tasiki to oppress Vicky. Now, Tasiki considered it bullying, and she was trying to convince Krishan to just take the apology, and Vicky was playing dumb. Now, Anna said Krishan threw eggs and whipped cream at her, and that was wrong, especially because Vicky does not fight. But this is how Krishan felt.
So it was just like, oh, you doing little shit to get under my skin, huh?
And this is Vicky's MO. Like, she does this. She does stuff online to create a story and doesn't back it up in person. So it didn't surprise me to see her crying. Shit, I would have cried too if Krishan was coming at me. Now, sadly, this happened on the first night, so Vicky didn't really get to spread the word, I'm sure, how she wanted to. Instead, she was sulking around the house in the corner. Of course, she doesn't drink. It's nothing wrong with that. But it was just, they weren't even in the room, and she was in the corner scared.
Yeah. You look like you want to cry.
That same night, Krishan and her sister got into it, and we'll get to that next. But the next day, Vicky decided to insert herself listening to the producers of Zeus. Now, while I was doing my research, I found an interesting video that Hi, My Name is T did, and she gave us some insight on the behind the scenes of why Vicky did what she did.
Like that. And I mean, I've known Vicky for a long time. It's always been clout for her. It's always been like that. Like, even back in the day, she hit me up. She was like, hey, we should have fake beef. After day fought, I walked upstairs. And while I'm walking upstairs, I see a producer talking to Vicky. And then all of a sudden, the Vicky is on top of a rock talking about Jesus, Lord, Jesus, Lord. I was like, that's whack. Like, she's doing it for camera time. Or she's doing it because the producer told her.
And yes, as soon as she got up on that rock, Krishan told her friend Janet to get her. And that's exactly what Janet did. Now, this incident caused Vicky to leave the house. And yes, she was cut up and bruised up, but this was the end of the journey for her. Once Vicky left the house, she caught herself pressing charges on Krishan because of the incident. And honestly, I think this whole thing was a waste of time for her. She didn't come here to do what she wanted to do, and every chance the girls got, they let her know that nobody wanted to hear what she had to say.
But I don't want to go to church every day while I'm here.
And that leaves me with our next fallen soldier, Krishan. Now, Krishan was way out this season. Like, her decisions were sporadic. She was literally all over the place for obvious reasons. Now, the first incident, Krishan turned on Natalie for her sister.
We was cool, fuck it. We not cool no more.
Now, I'm sure Krishan just wanted to help her sister with the storyline. Not only that, but at the time, Krishan was pregnant, so she allowed her sister to come onto the show to be there to defend her. Before coming onto the show, she had a hit list, and that hit list consists of Anna Mac and Wovicki. And she wanted her sister Tasiki to slide them. Now, when Tasiki wanted Krishan to only accept the apology, Krishan was mad. And then when Tasiki did not fight Natalie, Krishan was even more mad. And so imagine how Krishan felt when Tasiki decided to turn up on Krishan in front of all the girls, really test her gangster in front of all the ladies.
I will beat the shit out you.
As a sister, that's just something you never do in front of other people. But what set this whole thing off was that Krishan thought Tasiki was calling someone that she did not like to hang out at the club that they were going to. They start arguing, and at this point, Krishan tells her sister that she's not standing on business. So Tasiki takes offense, and she says that she would beat her up in front of all these people. Now, Krishan was so mad that she was trying to leave the bus, and an egg comes flying at her face. Luckily, it misses. Fast forward. Krishan performs, and later on that night, Krishan gets her sister jumped. Tasiki got jumped in the sprinter by Krishan's two weak-ass bodyguards, but they're her friends, and they're always around. So the minute this happened, Tasiki was going up, and she wasn't going to stop until she got her lick back. And Krishan knew that her friends were going to get beat up, let's be honest, but she still let them go out there and catch that bullet. But I guess it was about the principle for Krishan. She wanted somebody to stand for her, even if it meant going against her sister. Now, that was pretty much the last incident before Krishan realized that she couldn't be in this environment pregnant. It was too much going on. She couldn't fight. She couldn't defend herself as she wanted to. So she left. And since everyone has an opinion on Krishan getting her sister jumped, all I'm going to say about it is that they were both wrong. Both Krishan and Tasiki. Now, for obvious reasons, we're going to talk about our next baddie, Tasiki. Now, Tasiki had a leg up at the auditions because she was Krishan's sister. And let's not forget, she got into it with Natalie, and we all want to see that. After her scene at the auditions, we all knew she was going to get picked. Little sidebar, I have a lot to say about Tasiki. I couldn't wait to get into her. Her vibe is something off about her, and I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it was the allegations that she didn't want brought up when filming started that had her in disarray, or had her not present, or had her not showing her personality as much, but it gave weird. Now, the first thing that gave weird to me was the fact that she said she was going to slap these people for Krishan. Even if she didn't slap them, a little press would have been okay. But sitting with them and kikiing on the sprinter is why Krishan was upset. Now, when it came to Natalie, she had all this smoke and didn't do anything when she found her own storyline. And I'm not saying that one grown woman has to stand up for another grown woman, but let's be for real. She was cool and kicking it with Smiley before Smiley got her chain snatched. And once again with Biggie before Biggie started catching all the smoke. We're not going to forget about the situation that happened between Tasiki and E.T., and Tasiki was mocking E.T. online behind Krishan. And once again, Tasiki treaded lightly. And Tasiki throwing that full water bottle at pregnant Krishan just rubbed me the wrong way. Her moment was when she fought Marsh. And honestly, I feel like she never really liked Marsh. But of course, why expect a girl who wouldn't stand for her sister to stand for someone else? I just wish she gave us a little bit more personality, a little bit more jokes, a little bit more looks. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't all bad for her.
Take me to the moon.
I love that part. And she had her moments. She was able to perform, and people really like her music. To close out this whole Krishan and Taseki situation, I just want to say they both need healing. They all need to go to therapy, and they all need to stay off of social media. Our next baddie is an original bad girl from BGC, and that is Camila. Now, Camila was everybody's fave from BGC, okay? If you don't remember, she had beef with Natalie on BGC, and Oxygen would never let them duke it out, but baby, on Zeus,
It's on site.
Natalie greeted her with fist, and if this was back in the day, I think Camila would have had a chance. Yeah, she was a little rusty, but she gave it her all, and luckily her and Natalie were able to make up. Now, Camila was there for a good time, and it showed, and everybody accepted it. Until an incident came up with E.T. and Biggie. E.T. claims that Camila saw someone from Biggie's team assault and harass her. Camila switched up a few times, so I'm just going to show you all.
No, I did not remember, girl. It's like he was talking about broke all that stuff. Oh, yeah. That man, that nigga. It wasn't my nigga. Did her nigga not come after me twice? I don't know her.
Don't you know that's a lie? Go ahead.
Which was somebody cussing her out. I did not physically see her get assaulted.
You guys heard that, and Camila felt like Rolly and E.T. were trying to get her to lie. I do wish she would have stood her ground a little bit more, but it was her birthday that night and she wasn't with none of the drama. For the most part, I think Camila kept it real. My favorite part was when she called out Smiley for not standing up for herself.
We had to beg you to defend yourself, and then you was acting like a pussy after you be talking shit every day in the house. Like, but big dog, I'm from Miami, you know what I'm saying? But then you just
Talking about big Smiley.
So what's good?
She kept it low key, which sometimes you have to do in a baddie setting if you don't want to be out here fighting, if you want to just have fun, gotta keep it low key. Our next baddie is someone who also kept it low key. We have Sky. Yes, Sky from Black Ink. I know we were all expecting the crazy Sky, the wild Sky. I know I was expecting her to be chasing girls around, but this season we got calm Sky, and honestly, I was proud of her. Now, the only thing I was upset about was her bucking up on Biggie. Of all people, Biggie, Sky, we all know you can like, I would expect her to go against Taseki. Like, that's what I would want to see. But Biggie, come on now. Now, Sky didn't let me all the way down, you guys. She did speak up for Biggie when Rolly bit her.
Oh, you bit her. I bit her?
And she also spoke up for Smiley when she said that Taseki and Smiley were friends.
Who's close with her though? Like in the house, who's close with her? Taseki.
Not that close with her.
No, it's so tight.
But she do like cling to me a lot.
Yeah.
Now, Sky had her jokes here and there, but I did expect her to come through a lot more in that portion. T and Sky sat down after the show, and Sky expressed that she did not leave a bad taste in VH1's mouth and that she can go back to this day if she wanted to. I would call it damage control, but I do see a change in Sky. We have now made it to the big dogs, and if you've made it this far, please like, comment, and share, because I would love to hear your feedback on the ladies I've done so far and the rest of these bitches. Our next baddie is Biggie. Now, Biggie was picked from the auditions at Baddies West, and if you all don't remember Baddies West, it was Stunna versus The House. Now, everyone pretty much had their moment with Stunna, but when Rolly finally backed off of Stunna, she felt like everybody else should have backed off too. So that is kind of where her and Biggie's beef stems from. I'm going to show you all some clips.
Almost every city that we was in, we was smoking, chilling, dancing. You get me? I didn't. No, low key.
Biggie, why
low
are
key,
you sitting here? Why are you sitting here
I have
lying?
it, mama.
But that's not the thing. Why I got mad at you?
But what you got on the internet and started bumping your gums about?
And that's how it was. That's why I fell out with Biggie, because you want to keep talking about Thunder.
And then again at the Baddies East auditions. Now, the girls must have felt like Biggie should not have been at the audition table. Every time she picked someone, it was a problem. Rolly even blew up on her.
Domestic violence, I help people
Here.
come from it.
It's not your turn.
It's
No,
really
I'm
not.
sorry. I went through that. So that's why I gave you my bad.
Baby,
That's why I gave you.
let me tell you
go ahead.
something.
They gonna finish talking, but you
Sit
go ahead.
the fuck
Go ahead.
down! Oh God! No,
This is
you
what
gotta sit
domestic
the fuck
violence
down!
boys
I
say
don't
from
care!
It
Stop
was
talking when I'm
domestic
talking!
violence
No,
boys
back
said
the
from
fuck
them.
up! Because I'm not about to
She's
keep playing
talking
with
about
y'all!
domestic
I'm not about
violence.
to keep
So I
playing with
liked
y'all!
it. That's why I gave it to her. I have have a right to say something too. I don't give a fuck.
The way Rolly thinks she could talk to people is disgusting, first of all, and second of all, who wouldn't talk shit online about you after this? You can tell they never talked about the root of their issue, and this is why it's just going to be never ending with them, because they don't even know why they mad for real. So yes, Biggie comes in the house, Biggie runs up, and after their 3 rounds, we notice a bite on Biggie. Rolly swore up and down that Biggie bit herself, and it was just in a spot where it's just not possible. Say what y'all want about Biggie, but she stood her ground this season. Even though she did a lot of talking and explaining, she stood up for herself. One night, they're getting off the Sprinter, and one of Biggie's fans is a little bit more rowdy, and he's yelling, "Big Biggie, Big Biggie." I guess Scarface said they had a few words for each other before he bopped her upside the head. But honestly, this was out of Biggie's control. She didn't know who this guy was. It's a fan standing outside the club. And E.T. felt like it was a target coming specifically from Biggie. Aside from being served with an eviction notice from the ladies, her contract was breached by E.T. when she decided to touch her stuff. Now, Biggie wanted her get back, and the only way to do that was to get E.T. when she least expected it, and that was outside the club. Now, the ladies were upset because they could not get in and they did not get paid they $200 for this club appearance. So the next day, Natalie decides to host a pool party where they threw water balloons and squirted water guns at Biggie while she was getting attacked by Scarface. And this moment made me realize that Biggie was really alone. It made me feel like none of the girls stand on anything. And I'm like, damn. The rest of the night was kind of chaotic for Biggie. E.T. kept trying to attack her. She was getting yelled at by everybody. And so the final dinner comes up in the final episode of this series that I'm going to do. And Biggie picks up a chair. Now, what set all the ladies off is Suki calling Biggie and Smiley the stars of the show. And they were mad.
But these two, they the show. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nobody complain about you, bitch. Nobody don't fuck with you. You're the fucking star.
I don't care who's the show. I'm a star.
Now, Biggie picks up the chair because E.T. is trying to sneak her again. And Lemuel makes her apologize to everybody. And not only is it degrading because she's trying to just defend herself, but it's embarrassing. And I got this tea from Hi, my name's T once again.
He also started yelling at Biggie too. And she had to apologize to everybody for picking up that chair. And I was just like, oh my God, humiliation nation.
As long as she defended herself, she's all right in my book.
I still don't know our beef.
Yes, you do, Biggie.
And we just gonna end it there. Our next lady is extraterrestrial. And we gonna start this off with a flashback that I recorded a few months back before the show aired. E.T. was selected as a replacement for season 4 Baddies East. And I'm interested to see whose bandwagon she's gonna hop on, because we all know she can't stand alone. And she is a bully, so I'm interested to see which weakest link she's going to pick for a come up. I talked about this situation 4 months ago, and how she did exactly what I said is beyond me. But not really, because this is her M.O. E.T. comes off as cringy as fuck. She's proved that she's a bully. She proved that she's a bandwagon. She's proved that she's a liar. And honestly, we're just going to hop into it. So the next day, they go go-kart racing. And T is really not up to it. She's telling the ladies she doesn't feel good and she had to sit out the day before because she didn't feel good. And honestly, these ladies don't care. Like, you can see plenty of times how these ladies lack compassion, but they get to the place and they're saying that T has a stank look on her face. And I don't know if y'all peeped, but Rolly called this out to E.T. and E.T. starts doing the most. And eventually E.T. attacks her. This was E.T.'s first time meeting T, so for her to get upset that T wasn't enjoying herself is weird to me. So the next day, T shows up in a better mood, and she still gets attacked by E.T. T starts calling E.T. a hater, and honestly, I agree, because why are you really mad, E.T.? Like, what's the reason? E.T. states that she approached T, I don't know if it was that night at the club, but she approached her and let her know that she doesn't have to worry about her attacking her anymore. And I was like, finally, bitch. Now, let me remind you that E.T. walked in on the energy of wanting to approach Tasiki and ask her what's up, but it took her about 6 episodes to ask Tasiki for a damn apology.
For mocking me.
Now, E.T. treaded lightly, baby, okay? Because let it be Smiley mocking her online. Y'all think she would have came at her with the, I want an apology.
For mocking me.
And next, what's new? We have E.T. bullying Biggie. She's pushing on this girl for a situation that has nothing to do with her. She calls herself standing up for Rolly, but let's be real. She's trying to get some of Rolly clout, and Rolly dumbass gonna give it to her because she needs a yes man. Ain't it funny how God worked? The same night, E.T. gets called out by one of Biggie's fans, and she thinks she's got a hit out on her. So now she's not going to stop at anything until Biggie gets hers. Now after E.T. fights Biggie, she goes upstairs to touch her stuff and she gets sucker punched by Biggie. And that wasn't the last time. The same night she gets sucker punched at the club. So the next day that Natalie throws the pool party, E.T. thinks she's going to get her lick back by sneaking up and sneaking Biggie. Now E.T. failed miserably at trying to get a moment, you guys. Like, it was just sad for her. And Biggie is running, okay? Biggie is a track star. But once again, E.T. just looks like a bully coming after a girl who doesn't want to fight, doesn't know how to fight. This girl is constantly looking for a moment. And who wants to be around someone like that, for real? She did not serve on the outfits. She did not serve on the jokes. She, in fact, came off as very childish to me. And I don't like that her ego is bigger than her body. Yeah, she was just an epic fail. Our next lady is none other than Smiley. Smiley sacrificed her mind, body, and damn near soul to be on Baddies. She came in on 10, and I had high hopes for her. But she too failed miserably at proving she's a baddie. So we're just gonna hop into it. She was selected from the auditions where she actually fought Mariah Lynn's sister. Smiley also had an altercation with Mariah Lynn at the club prior to the show where she snatched Mariah's chain. And she pretty much ran with that storyline. Now, Smiley was bragging on social media and to Mariah's celebrity friends about how she snatched her chain. And so when she got to the house, it was on site. Now, when I tell y'all Mariah ain't ever had a fight like this, at least not on TV. But Smiley gave it to her. And she even had the chain on in confessionals. Fast forward. Smiley has a miscarriage. Now, I did a little bit of research, and I've come to find out that miscarriages are painful, okay? The passing of tissue alone. But I wouldn't be 100% truthful if I didn't tell you guys that miscarriages are different for everybody. And also, everybody has a different pain tolerance. So anyway, more time passes, and the girls confront her, and then she slips up and says this.
Before everything, I be on purse real bad. I be on purse real bad. I be on purse real bad.
Purse real bad.
Did she just admit to being on drugs? Anyway, we gonna save that for later. But the more I listened to Smiley talk about this miscarriage situation, the more I did not believe her. At first, I was like, why is it their business? But then she started talking.
So do you got your discharge papers?
I don't have no discharge.
Because
it's in the truck.
But you said the show must go on.
Yeah, and I feel
I
like
know, but you came
on.
on here knowing you was pregnant.
I thought I was, but I didn't take it like, you feel me? I'm throwing up whatever. I just left it alone. Like, you know, I don't want to check. But something really wrong. But I'm not. I'm like, damn, I really want to be on the show.
Now, while they're confronting her about the miscarriage, Suki decides to confront her about texting her phone pertaining to Mariah Lynn's chain. Now, aside from Biggie's episode, this episode was really hard to watch. Because let's say she really did have a miscarriage. These girls were so insensitive. So Suki wants to know how Smiley got her number. And Sapphire wants to know if she melted down Mariah's chain to make a pendant for her son. Smiley says no, and Rolly throws a drink at her. And that's when Mariah swings on Smiley. Now, as Mariah and Smiley are tussling on the couch, everyone is screaming, "Get your chain!" So they separate, and Suki and Sapphire realize that she still doesn't have her chain. So Suki urges Mariah to keep going, and they end up in the kitchen. I don't know if y'all noticed, but Sapphire pushes Mariah into Smiley, which got them fighting again. And they notice that she still doesn't have the chain after this round. So this time, Sapphire steps in, and they pretty much wrestle her to the ground, which got Smiley thinking that she got jumped. Nah, I call it a tag team. What y'all call it? The ladies' actions after they took Smiley's chain was disgusting, okay? From Mariah prancing around to Natalie filming Sapphire hold up the chain as if it's an award. It was just so cringy. It was nasty. It was disgusting. So the next day, they're traveling and they notice that Smiley just isn't herself. And after that, who would be? But Smiley got online and she told everybody in the world that she got jumped. Really, Sapphire is upset and she wants to address the issue. So they end up fighting, and of course Suki says she jumped in, but she ain't do nothing for real. She had her back though. Keep that in mind for later. Smiley ended up giving the chain back, and she did not get her chain back, which was the dumbest shit in the world. Like, she had this chain for 3 months. Why would you give it back without getting your chain back? Smiley is on an audio call with Natalie, and she wants to know where her chain is. So Mariah overhears the conversation. She walks in and she lets her know that her sister now has the chain, and if she wants it, she has to get it from her. So Smiley shows up to the club, dressed for a fight, and of course Mariah's sister is there. They went 3 rounds inside the club. I was so shocked. Now after this, I feel like it was a fabricated story, but Rolly tells Mariah that Smiley said she was going to have her family followed after the club. Mariah hears this and she turns up. So she once again attacks Smiley. And it's just never ending with them. Like, let it go. Smiley swears she wants to let it go. She even finds a reason to stand next to Mariah every chance she gets. But it's just like, at some point, you got to learn how to steer clear from the people who don't like you. I can't tell you guys how many times I got the Shanquilla vibes. And sorry about, if that's sensitive to anybody. But it was real vibes there. If Smiley would have stood up for herself a little bit more, I think she would have been liked by the public. She literally had to be told by Biggie to stand up for herself.
You hear me? My nigga, pay attention, nigga. Fuck all of these, nigga. You hear me? Look at me, bitch. Pipe up, nigga. Nigga, pipe up. These bitches fucking got you, nigga. Pipe up. Ready. Let me touch you.
But yeah, she served looks sometimes, jokes not at all. Our next baddie is none other than Anna Mac. Now, Anna Mac was a vibe, okay? She came with the jokes. She came with them hands, okay? Now, the looks, they were a little off, but come on now, it's her first season. Anna was also picked from the auditions, and she is known as the singer of the cast. Anna comes in, and it's obvious that she has beef with Scotty. Their beef is a little too violent to be about, oh, she was talking about me, or he said, she said. Now, rumor has it she messed with the owner of Zeus, and so does Scotty. So that's probably where their beef stems from. This is all alleged. There's not really proof out. Anna made sure to deny the allegations. I did a little research.
Not today, because now they done accused Anna of sleeping with Lemmy, which she was sleeping with Lemmy. And she's denying it, and they said that she got chlamydia from him. It's so messy. Oh my God.
I mean, now you want me to talk
You
to
guys
you?
fought for nothing. I mean, well, you guys fought for other reasons behind the scenes that have nothing to do
Clout,
with
just
what the show
yeah,
has to
and
do
then go. You know the bitch be mad. The bitch.
You slept with my boss. Yeah, you just shouldn't shit where you eat, but hey.
So I'm gonna give a fuck nigga every motherfucking day.
Now, at this first brunch, they fought like 6 or 7 times. And Anna was going through it, y'all. She was holding her own, but she was having asthma attacks, asking for water, saying she didn't want to fight no more. And Scotty just kept on running up on her. Finally, she leaves. In the next scene, she's getting pressed by Krishan and Krishan's sister. Before the show started, Anna Mac decided to pick at Krishan on social media. And let's just say Anna really ain't want none of that smoke. Nah, she really ain't want none of the smoke. She was pleading her case. As you can tell by now, most of Anna's beef is online, and she also has some beef with DJ Sky High Baby. Now, she brought this beef up to Natalie, and Natalie told her to let it go. It's not that big a deal.
Drop it. Drop it. But I can't tell her that I think you fake as fuck, and don't even look at me.
No, because she's just the DJ.
Then when Anna least expects it, Sky comes popping out the bushes, trying to run up on her. I like that she knew that she was set up in that moment, and I like that she called it out. But yes, Anna was very much a vibe. She also, at the very end, got called out by Suki for not standing up for herself. And that's cap, because Anna talks all day. She's going to be heard. She's going to get her point across. And she might even punch you in the face. She got the opportunity to perform with the ladies, which I'm sure is not new for her. She does music, R&B, and it's actually pretty good. Not only do I love that she got the opportunity to be herself, she got the full baddie experience while being in the presence of someone that she does not like. And excuse me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that should be the point of these shows. Our next baddie surprised the hell out of me. And that is Hi, My Name's T. Now, first impression, I thought she was annoying as hell. And she calls herself a comedian. I had no idea her background. I was like, let me put some respect on her name. And I Googled her and I come to realize that she was a wildin' out personality. She appeared in The Real Husbands of Hollywood. And I know a couple of y'all had her as y'all screensavers back in middle school. Fast forward to today, her bougie ass thinks Baddies is the place to be. So she's here and she's getting along with the ladies. Throughout the show, I've noticed T would pop out of anywhere, and it's because she wouldn't stay in the house because it wasn't up to her standards. Now, T expressed that some of the things that she witnessed was very triggering for her. And she even took her anger out on Scotty because she was so triggered.
To come over there and try to save you, because I'm not.
Well, calm down now.
No, I'm not. Don't tell me to calm down, Scotty.
But don't yell at
No, I'm not yelling at you.
Yes, you are.
No, I am.
Oh, don't yell.
I'm yelling.
Well, stop yelling.
I'm already yelling. What are you going to do? Exactly.
And of course, Scotty took that as, okay, so T doesn't like me. That night, they were dancing in the club, but Scotty still felt some type of way, obviously, because the next day she addressed T. And it was hilarious. I love me a troll. Here's some clips.
You screech like a weirdo.
Okay? Okay, now what?
Okay.
Okay, now what?
You're still
Still a weirdo. You look like a
Okay,
fucking
fuck.
strawberry. Like,
Bitch, shut the fuck
you
up.
gonna hit me over because I told you look like a fruit? You need to go to
don't.
my dentist.
I don't.
You need to
Don't
go to
worry
my
about what I'm
dentist.
doing, bitch.
That shit, you can tell you got that throat. You gonna hit me? You gonna hit me?
Bitch,
you gonna hit me?
Yes, because
Why?
you fucked up.
They, of course, do not fight, but T starts feeling sick, and so she sits out for a day or two. She comes back on a day they go go-kart racing, and they say that she had an attitude, but I think she was trying to be in a good mood. Even though she was feeling sick, I think she was trying. You know, she was laughing at their jokes. She was helping out where she could. So they're staring at her, talking about her in her face, and baby, all she had to do was this. And they were triggered, okay? She got attacked by 3 girls, E.T., Scotty, and Rolly.
Hey, 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 it's Fat Albert.
Clearly, in this group of girls, nobody's going to stand up for you. So I'm happy that T held her own. You know, she was talking her shit and backing it up. Now, the only person who made up with her was E.T. E.T. actually apologized. Rolly just conversated with her a little bit, and Scotty didn't talk to her at all. Now, after this, T showed up when and where she damn well pleased, okay? She showed up to the event. In the house, she wasn't there too much. Okay, but she showed up and showed out. She showed out on the outfits. She showed out on the personality. I loved her whole experience. She also got the opportunity to perform, and her music is okay. I do think she can come a little bit harder. And finally, after the show, she was able to bring traffic to her YouTube channel by sharing her experience and interviewing those that shared the same experiences as her. And if you ask me, I say she has a niche for this because it's quality content. It's funny. She's a great conversationalist. Our next lady is none other than Mariah Lynn. Now, I was conflicted about Mariah because I wasn't sure I wanted to see a Love and Hip Hop star on Zeus. I got reintroduced to Mariah at the auditions, and she just walked right up to Natalie, got her ticket, everything was good. And then chaos erupts when Smiley attacks her sister. Now, this Smiley storyline lasted all season. And honestly, she claimed that she was doing it for her sister, but she looked really bad and it came off as bullying. But first and foremost, Mariah claimed she knew Tasiki before the show. And so I guess that justified her jumping in that fight between Tasiki and Janet. Her way of saying, I'm your sister now. In my opinion, it had nothing to do with her and she looked whack. I did kind of agree with the fact that she said she saved her because she could have easily ended up looking like Marsh. Now, after this, Tasiki told her to stay out of it, and she was also checked by Krishan, and she ain't want no parts, okay? She ain't want no smoke. Now, at the final dinner, Suki calls out Mariah for being a follow the leader type of bitch. Not only did she wait 3 months to get her chain back, but she has so much space, time, and opportunity to get it back herself.
Get the chain.
Mariah, square up.
Square whatever.
Square up and go get your fucking chain, bitch.
Give her a chain. Give her a chain.
Come get this chain, bitch.
I got it.
Here we go.
Not only did it look like she needed Suki and Sapphire's help, but she just looked pathetic. And as I already expressed how I felt about her in the scene, we're just gonna move on. She also got the chance to perform with the ladies, and I was happy about that because that's what she came on here to do. And I ain't gonna lie, but her outfits gave old woman. Okay, I didn't like it. Her confessional looks, however, they were cute. Okay, she was prepared. And finally, I felt like she was holding back on the one-liners because they just weren't hitting like they usually would. I don't know. Love and Hip Hop and Zeus is just not a good mix for me. I don't like it. What do you guys think? Moving on, we have Scotty with the body. Now this season, Scotty was on go. And honestly, we know Scotty from the previous seasons, and I think we can all agree that we've never seen her like this. I don't know if it was because it was Anna and she felt like she could have won, or if she's just out here fighting all the side chicks and she's not even the main. This was the time for her to show us her personality, to mix and mingle with the other ladies, to get to know anybody other than Natalie. Instead, she looked like a hater this season, and is probably because of the company she chose to keep. Scotty also had time, space, and opportunity to confront T, but she waited until everybody wanted to attack her, and that was just weak to me. Now, Scotty comes off as Natalie's pet, okay? She reminds me of Kendra from Natalie's original season, and if you guys don't remember, Kendra always forgave Natalie. She was just happy to be around because of the stuff that Natalie offered to her. She gave Kendra a new man, some new hair, a new personality. Honestly, I feel like she's trying to do the same to Scotty. She's trying to make her her understudy. And if we being real, Scotty doesn't have a personality to be her own person. So she's the perfect Kendra. Scotty does not do music. And I hate that I have to do research to see that she runs a fitness business. And in the day and age of plastic surgery, it sucks that she doesn't get to broadcast her talent. Scotty came with a couple outfits. I like what her style is becoming. Now, as far as the jokes go, she's funny when she's not trying to be.
Yeah. Oh, I said, what the hell? It's DJ motherfucking Sky. Where the fuck did she come from? She's supposed to be DJing. Why is she here? What's going on?
Yeah, that's about it for Scotty. Our next minion is none other than Roly Poly Snack Meals. It's crazy because I really used to like Roly in the previous seasons. I liked her from One More Chance. And I liked her because she was the confident big girl who came with the jokes, and she also stood up for herself. But this season, she came off as very disgusting. I don't know if it was the outfits and she was feeling herself, but it was hard to watch her. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but Roly started every viral situation that happened this season. She started with T, and she's the leader of Biggie's hate train. She started that whole situation with Smiley getting tag team. And let's not forget that she told Mariah that Smiley was going to have her family followed. She lied and said she knew the guy who hit E.T. and claimed that it was one of Biggie's people. This lady was serving eviction notices, squirting water guns, and throwing water balloons, all while looking a hot-ass mess. Now, for some quick positivity, I want to add that Roly became Natalie's brand ambassador for Natalie's business, Baddies Blunts, and I was happy about that. Not really. But she was also able to perform this season. I also want to add that I feel like Roly knows more about Natalie and Scotty's relationship than she puts out there.
I shouldn't be hearing about your friendship problems. I don't even know y'all. Like I said, I'm about to air all this shit out. So, running behind Natalie, eating her pussy for cash.
Never ate her pussy.
You're a liar. You ate her pussy on the way to Africa, right?
But we're just going to have to wait on Zeus to turn on Roly to get the tea, okay? And I feel like it's going to happen. Now, Roly is on go when she has a cheerleader in her corner, okay? We've seen it with her and Slim, and now we've seen it with her and E.T. But another thing that people don't notice about Roly is that she doesn't know how to hold these friendships, okay? And I don't know if it's because she comes off as a hater. I don't know if it's because she's always going to put herself first. But I would steer clear because her ego is only going to get worse. Out of everybody, I feel like Roly lacks the most empathy. And so instead of fixing what's on the inside, she decides to go get her body done. Now, when your pussy ends up on your stomach, Don't come crying to us. And finally, the one who gets on my nerves the most, Miss Natalie motherfucking Nunn. Now, Natalie has been on reality television for years. Bad Girls Club and most of their spinoffs, Bridezilla's, Celebrity Big Brother, all of which she played a menace. And the thing that irks me with Natalie is that she knows that she can sit in the back and just collect her check, but she wants to be that messy character. She wants to pull the strings and be in the mix. And she's fucking 40 years old. Like, can we get the petition for her instead? This season, she starts off fighting Camila about some old beef that nobody cares about and they probably don't even remember. Now, the thing that got me was her beef with the Malone sisters. Natalie is scared of Tasiki. I don't care what none of y'all say. She don't want that smoke. And let's not act like Natalie doesn't throw a bitch fit when the situation's not about her. She lies and she plays dumb. And she too does a lot of egging on. Over time, I grew tired of her antics. And honestly, I feel like her and Scotty are not real friends. Picture this. Natalie sets up Scotty with Lemuel to keep the show. Is it so far-fetched to assume that she would use Scotty like that? Come on now. This is what Natalie does. She plays people like they're pawns for her personal gain. We see Natalie trying to venture off more into the business lane. We see her trying to do music. We see her doing the Baddies blunts. And honestly, I feel like she should have gave that to Rolly. Rolly always has a blunt in her mouth, and Natalie doesn't even smoke. I think she spent so much time being this character that no one likes anymore. And now she doesn't know how to act. She doesn't know where to go. We're also going to talk about the Suki and Sapphire situation. I didn't really consider them a part of the show, at least not until my part 2 video. Now, Suki was her own person, I can honestly say, the whole season. Sapphire, on the other hand, was a follower, bandwagon, kiss ass. Okay, I did not like her. But they came in talking about they were going to bully the bullies, and they essentially became the bullies. To be fair, they did not see T get attacked, but the Smiley situation, they ganged up on her when everybody else was ganging up on her. And I understand Suki wanted to get to the bottom of how Smiley got her phone number, but it was just bad timing. Now, you would have thought this was personally Sapphire's chain, the way she was acting.
Get the chain!
They tag teamed her for this chain, and the next day, Smiley thinks she got jumped, so she posted it on social media, and Sapphire wants to fight her.
How do you feel about Smiley? I don't feel anything. Like,
if the miscarriage was real, this girl has no remorse. Now, while Suki was trying to get to the root of the issue why the girls did not like Smiley or Biggie, Sapphire was too busy trying to fit in and get a spot on the show. And ultimately, it cost them their friendship.
Cheers to the girls who are hated.
I love that part, but y'all know damn well I wasn't putting DJ Sky in this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.